Hey guys, Big B. Just wanted to show you a setup that I'm working on. Um, Looking for a camp setup basically that I can move every night that doesn't take up as much room. I've got a bigger dome tent that I really like. I use the Kelty Noah's tarp, the 9-footer. 4 poles that go with that. They're pretty sizable. And that's a great setup if you're moving in, setting up camp, and then riding from camp. This setup is more for moving camp every day, a road trip, a BDR route, something along those lines. So basically, the Kelty tent that I've got here is called the Late Start. So the poles actually drop down into a sleeve. It's a little bit wider than just a one-man, so I'd call it a 1.5-man tent. But I fit in there really nicely. You can actually sit up. You can change your clothes in there. It has a nice vestibule on it. Comes out about, I don't know, 16 inches or so from the front of the tent. Pretty nice setup. But there are those times here in the Pacific Northwest and other places where you get a lot of rain and you like to have a little bit of a cover. And so the Kelty Noah's tarp and those poles, when I roll that whole setup up, basically it's about a 10 to a 12-inch diameter by 22 inches long. It's a pretty large package with 4 poles. Of course, you can reduce that down to 2 poles as well. This setup rolled up should be about 14 inches long and probably around 4 inches in diameter. So this is a 4x6 ground tarp that I bought. I just bought a cheap one because I'm just playing around with this right now. I sewed this up. I sewed it so I could still utilize these and use these as tie-down points if I wanted to. There's eyelets in the center if I needed to secure this better. So what I did is I bought that tarp, sewed a track for the rod that's going down, the pole that's going down the top. The top rod is just sitting on top of the tent. It's not fastened down here. I'll probably put an eyelet in here so I could run a guy line that way if I need to. But the tarp basically is secured down to the tie-down system on the tent with those lines. These poles I bought on Amazon. They're in like 14-inch sections. There was 2 of them for like 20 bucks. So on the top rod, I took a couple of those sections off and actually ended up cutting additional material off for this custom length. So I waited till I sewed this and I knew what that length was going to be, and then I cut it to add just a little bit of tension in that pocket. I added 2 rods to this so that I could get a little bit higher arch, and so this right now is about 5.5 feet tall, which gives me enough room to sit down underneath in here and get out of the tent. So my whole thing is, could I just sit in the tent? If it's not raining, then guess what? This is probably not going up. It's really just for those nights. It's pouring down rain. I need to cook my dinner. I need to be off the bike and stretching a little bit and moving around and re-energizing for the next day. That's really what this is all about. If it's good weather, this is going to stay packaged and it's not going to come out. But I just wanted to show you guys kind of what my camp setup's going to be as far as moving camp every day. So this will be quite a bit of smaller package than what I was carrying with the big dome tent. But it should fit in all of my soft bags better, because I won't be, when I'm moving every day, I will not be using my hard panniers, the Tusk aluminum bags that I've got. So those won't be coming along. I'll be running nothing but soft bags when I'm moving that much. So anyway, that's the tent. I think this little top tarp, I think, was like $6 or $7, pretty cheap. And the poles, I think, were $20 on Amazon. So, you know, if you're looking at playing around and doing something like this, it's pretty simple. One thing I probably am going to do too is the Tusk chair It's a little high for in here. I can sit in there. My head's at that far back. My head's right at the edge of this. I'm probably going to take a couple inches off of that for two reasons. Number one, it give me a little more room underneath this. But number two, when I'm cooking on that table, that chair's up kind of high. And so I like bringing this table. I like cooking up off of the ground. Just easier for me to do. And so I am going to cut about 2 inches off the legs of that chair just to make it a little bit more user-friendly with this table and in this type of a situation. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Here comes the star of the show. She hears me talking to myself in here, so she's got to see what the heck I'm doing. I think she thinks somebody came to visit. So anyway, you guys have a great weekend, and stay safe, stay up on 2. Big B out.